Welcome to Manufactured in Africa. This is Yanela, your host, and I am hosting Mr. Aaron Mdolo all the way from Malawi. I'm so excited because this channel is transcending borders. So I'm excited because Mr. Allen is an undergrad in environmental sciences, but then went on to do epidemiology. But he's going to take us through all of that and tell us how he has managed to come from environmental sciences to the health space because he works with HIV management and stuff. And he's a PhD candidate as well. And he is employed by UNICEF, guys. I don't know how people get employed at UNICEF, but he will tell us. He'll take us through that journey. So I'm going to give him an opportunity to introduce himself, like his accolade, his
Yeah.
academics, his career, and also tell us a bit about his hobbies. And he's a proud father of 3 daughters and a
Yeah.
proud husband. So here we're talking about a well-rounded, well-balanced person, career, family, everything. So I'll hand over to you, Mr. Aaron, and then you can tell us about
Yeah,
your
sure.
career. Yes.
Yeah, sure. As you have said, a graduate of environmental science and technology from University of Malawi. Public health has been in me, I think, since secondary school. I was very fascinated with the public health. But
Yes.
when I was going to university, I got selected for environmental science and technology, majoring in environmental management.
Oh,
While I was
nice.
doing the Phew. So while I was doing the environmental management, there were some public health courses that you do, which acted like the motivation to the public health that I really wanted. And it
Mm,
happened that by the uh, end of the 4 years, I graduated with environmental science and the technology, but I had a bit of public health in it. Then my first job was public health. Wow.
oh, nice.
Yeah. So my first job was public health. Then I started digging deeper into public health now. That's how I moved from environmental science and technology going into public health. Graduated as
I
environmental
see.
science and technology graduate, never worked as an environmentalist, but worked as a public health specialist. So
That's what
basically,
we
that's
have.
how it.
That's what we have in common. I graduated in engineering, but I've never worked a day as an engineer. And
That's why I
I
was
work in
laughing.
finance.
So that's why I was laughing.
Yes.
I said, I said, wow. So most of us have gone through these channels.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
After that, my first job was a graduate scientist. I was working with a research institution affiliated to London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, but it's based here in Malawi. It's one of the overseas research institutions. I worked as a graduate scientist there for a few years. And then I applied for a master's in epidemiology, but when I got selected to go, I did not manage I did not manage to find the sponsorship. Okay, the year I applied for epidemiology, I did not find the sponsorship. Then
Ish.
I was frustrated. Got
I
out
can
of the
imagine.
got out of that institution and went to another institution. Okay. A year later, there was a senior lecturer from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine coming to Malawi to start research in TB and HIV. Okay, and he wanted
Yeah.
somebody who has a knowledge of how the TB and HIV research works, both the wet science and dry science, meaning that the laboratory side as well as the public health side on the ground. And the Karonga prevention study where I was working initially managed to link her with me, and she was
Mm-hmm.
interested that I know most of what she wanted. Then
Oh,
one,
nice.
yeah. And one of the motivation for her, I said, no, I have already done a bit of research about you. You applied for an epidemiology course and you were taken and they did not pay, you did not find the sponsorship. But now I can tell you that I already have laid the sponsorship for you. So if you can work with me, then I will sponsor you. I said, wow.
Amazing.
So basically, that's how I found myself doing a postgraduate diploma in epidemiology, then a master's in epidemiology with London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. In
I
career,
see.
that's it. That's academic career. Yeah, sure. But yeah, go ahead.
So it's interesting that I like your journey because you show that you had challenges and how at some point you gave up and you were like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get sponsorship, but I know what I'm doing. And then the universe or God just orchestrated everything. And this is a
Yeah.
reminder to all of us that when you
Mm-hmm.
want something and you put it out to the universe or you put it out to God, it always comes
Mm-hmm.
back. Maybe the timing wasn't right at the time, but
Very
the
true.
goal is, yes, the goal is to never give up. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then now tell us about how, like, UNICEF. I just know, is that part of the UN? Like, what is UNICEF? I know it's an organization, an international
Yeah.
organization, but I'd
Yeah.
like you to tell us what it is and like how people get jobs there, etc.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. It's fascinating working with UNICEF. So UNICEF
Mm-hmm.
is one of the UN organizations. So it's United Nations Emergency Fund for Children.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, it's an emergency fund for children. Okay.
Oh, I see.
UNICEF is probably, if I'm not bragging, should be the biggest UN agency in terms of number of people, uh, even the amount it puts on the ground, the amount of
Mm,
money we put on the ground is one of the biggest. Yeah, so most people ask me these questions. How do you find a job with the UN?
mm,
As- I'm happy that I'm talking to someone who believes in God, and that's excellent. As far as we arrive and we have ambition, let's not get discouraged if that ambition is not fulfilled today. Let's know that God
mm.
still has something for us as far as we're alive. I would
Yes.
say, to me, it was just God's grace. And
Mm-hmm.
I've learned now that UN jobs are as transparent as you can think about it. Unlike
Yes,
most
that.
organizations, they are as transparent as possible. And no one should cheat you that you would go to UN because maybe you know someone who pushed you there. No, it doesn't, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work
I
like that.
see.
So
I
basically,
see.
you look at your strength. What are my strengths? These are my strengths. What are my passion? These are my passions. Okay. Now, UN advertise their job on their website or websites. Just go on the websites.
Mm.
And when you are applying, please don't just apply for Gauteng posts or just
Oh,
applying for Pretoria posts. No. Look at where do you fit across the world. Okay. If you see that
is it?
I can apply this one, maybe it's based in Eritrea, go for it. Why not? Maybe it's based in New York, just apply and compete on the interviews. And to me, I say, if somebody approaches me how to prepare for the interviews for UN, I'm very happy to
Oh,
direct them.
nice.
Um,
Thank you.
so,
Thank you.
so
Thank you so much.
yeah,
On behalf
how
of
did
anyone who hears this and who
yeah,
wants to reach out. And this is the
yeah,
importance of this channel that
yeah,
people are able to find people who will help them, who
yeah,
will give them resources, who will give them
yeah.
a helping hand for them to
Hmm.
achieve their goals and dreams. I
Yeah,
really
sure,
appreciate that on behalf of the
sure.
audience. Sorry to cut you off. You can continue. Sorry, I get
Yeah. So,
excited.
uh, how did I find myself in UN? I mean, you would wonder. I think I was pushed by my wife.
I
um,
see.
I was working with
Behind
the yes. I was
behind
working
every
with the
successful man is a woman.
yes. You can say that again. So I was working with this another organization called University Research Company. It has an office in South Africa. It's a very huge. It's in 52 countries in the world. And I was a regional manager. I was comfortable myself, living comfortably south of Malawi. Then my wife was saying, "Ah, no, you know what? Maybe we have overstayed here. Can we go and look things the other way?" No, I said, "But how do we do that? I'm okay. I'm not complaining. Everything we're able to to do." Then
Yeah.
said, "Ah, no. I've seen an advert from UN website. They're looking for someone, and I looked at the key areas. Looks like exactly they're looking for you." I said, "What?"
Nice. Talk about an attentive wife.
I said, "Come on, can you print it and bring it to me?" I should say. I was busy doing my reports and
Mm,
whatever. I could
yeah.
not even go and search for those things. But
Yeah.
one of the evenings she brought a printed copy from her work, and she gives me. I said, "Wow, I think you are right." Then I
This
said,
is
"No,
for me.
I'm going to edit my CV and throw it in." I think until 2 days to closing time, she came and asked me. I did not do that. I said, "But why have you not done it? Let's do it together. Let me help you." I said, "Ah, all right." Then we edited and we sent it last minute.
Mm,
Fortunately, as we have already said, what God has put in store for you, there's no way you can run away from it, and there's no one who can
true.
block you from it.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Then, though we did it at the last minute, I found that I went through all the rigorous interviews, and I got selected as an HIV specialist. But now I'm looking at the PMTCT, adolescents, and a bit of sexual reproductive health and rights for
I see.
adolescents and young women. I don't know whether you are in the young women or adolescents. So,
I
yeah,
get that
so
a lot
that's my.
where people look at me and they think I'm an adolescent. No, I'm a very old woman.
So
That is
basically, that's how I found myself at UNICEF, and I'm happy.
that I can see you're very happy. I really like the work that you're doing, and I've
Yeah.
gotten so many points from what we have discussed thus far. That
Mhm.
you shouldn't allow yourself to be limited. Don't limit yourself. The
Yes.
world is our
Yes.
oyster. We can do
Mhm.
whatever we put our minds to, and that
Yes.
the importance of having a partner, whether the partner is your parent, whether the partner is your wife, whether the partner is a
Mhm.
friend, somebody who
Mhm.
encourages you through a process, an accountability partner.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very important. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Sure.
But let me move
Sure.
away from all of this and get to the interesting part that
Yeah.
you are not only you're not only an epidemiologist, but you're also an
Yeah.
entrepreneur where you
Yes.
are the managing director of
Mhm.
Ngondongo
Yeah.
investments. I don't know how many times I practice that so that I don't forget. So it's quite interesting that you have come into the market where you're making
Mhm.
bricks. I saw that's
Yeah.
what you make. You make bricks.
Mhm.
How did that come about? What inspired you to start the bricks? I see you guys have like your big trucks, you have like
Mhm.
land, like the business
Mhm.
has progressed quite a lot. How old is the
Mhm.
business, and how what was the inspiration to start the business?
Okay. Thank you so much. I think the the motivation to start a business, I think, started way back around 2010, and
Oh wow,
yeah,
it's like
and
11 years ago.
yeah, I can tell you that. we have tried a few businesses, and we have failed in most of them. But we did not we did not give up. We pushed
Yeah.
forward. Yeah. In 2016, we're developing one of our plots, one of our land. We needed to put some more houses there, and I did my calculation. I found that the most expensive part, because the land was a bit big, because it was um, more than an acre. Okay, just
Oh.
slightly more than an acre. So I needed to put up a brick fence around the land. And I did calculation. I found that no, a lot of things were going in there. Then I did a bit of
Yeah.
research on blocks. Because in Malawi, most people are still using bent bricks. So
Okay.
when I calculated using bent bricks, I think it was becoming more expensive. And I said, no, let me see the option of blocks.
Okay.
Then I approached my colleague who was doing that, and he said, yeah, no, blocks are good. In fact, you would be able to do the fence in a quite short period of time because blocks are big. So and you would be able to do it much quicker. I said, okay. Can you come and help me how to do it? I said, no problem. I can give you an idea. Then he came. So first of all, he came with his equipment. I said, now I will just demonstrate to you how to do it, but I will encourage you to buy your own equipment because what you want to do on this land is too much. So I would not be able to produce all the all the blocks for you. I think you should be producing it yourself, right? Yeah. I said, okay, no, that's good.
Nice.
Then he gave us the tips. I went and buy an equipment, a very small equipment, very portable. You can carry it anywhere you want. Yeah. Then
I s-
we come on.
oh no, I was saying I saw it on your Facebook page, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
I'm
small
gonna make
one. Yeah.
sure I put it in the pictures
Yes. Yes.
for
Yes.
people
Yes.
to
Yes. Yes.
see it.
That, that was the first equipment. I
Mm.
I bought it. Then we started making blocks on that plot. And while builders were building, some people were interested in our blocks, and they came to buy from us immediately there.
Mm.
Then I saw that, oh no, I think there's a market in blocks. And the Malawi in 2017 they passed a law that all buildings belonging to government shall only be built using cement blocks, not bent bricks.
Oh
So
wow, that
yeah. Then I said,
you had
wow, I
just
think
got
it looks
into
like
the
there's
market.
future in this one.
Yes,
Yes,
imagine you had just got into the market and the market opened
yes,
for you. Wow,
yes.
interesting. I
Then
like how
in
the
20,
business started.
yeah,
Oh no,
in
I just wanted
2018,
to make, I'll allow you to speak
no
because
problem.
I tend to speak a lot.
That's good. Okay, so in 2018, then we said, no, I think let's formalize our business. Then we started the registration with the registration of companies and the registration with our local tax authorities. And then we said, okay, I think we need to give a name to our to our business. And what name should we give
Yeah.
it? Then I remembered back where from my village, in where I'm coming from, rural area. We have a very small stream which usually have water all year round, and the water has a nice taste, which I really like. When I go at the village, I drink water from the river, not from the tap, because the river water has a nice taste, and that
Me
river is called
too.
Ngondongo. You too.
Yes. I like river water. Like it's cold, it's got that nice sweet tinge to it. Yes.
Yeah, and that stream is called Ngondongo. Then I said, wow, I think let me
Oh.
give my business the name of that river. So it's Ngondongo investment, no real meaning. That's where I'm coming from. There's a stream called Ngondongo. So
Mhm.
that's how the business started. Have we really progressed the way we wanted? No. We have seen a lot of challenges. And
Mm.
if we were not resilient, we could have stopped. But
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah, we push on. We started with a very small equipment. Now we have bought a huge equipment. Our capacity has almost gone up almost 3-4 times now. We are able
Wow.
to produce more than we were producing previously. We used to supply only to our friends and the family members, but now we can supply to big contractors, or even if the government says we want block from you, we have the capacity to supply any amount of blocks that they would demand from us within a reasonable period of time. Yeah, basically that's it. But one thing which I want to stress is the journey has never been smooth. There have been a lot of
Mm.
challenges, but have we achieved yet? No, not yet. But we are sure we are going to achieve it. But we are resilient. Yeah, sure.
I I would like to refute that point about having not achieved anything. I mean, the business is quite young. It's only like what,
Yeah,
5 years
yeah,
old, and you
yeah,
have
yeah,
managed to buy a truck. You have managed to
yeah,
expand your market, like
yeah,
where you don't
yeah,
only service your friends and family.
yeah.
And what I
Mm,
like about this story and how the business started is the fact that you had a problem and you found a way
mm,
to solve your problem and then it
exactly,
turned into a business. And I think a lot
exactly.
of us can learn from this that
Mm,
like you just need to look at the problems that you have and a business
yeah,
can come out of it. And how many
exactly.
people do you currently employ now?
So at the moment, I'm employing about 8 permanent,
Oh,
but
nice.
on a demand, we have sometimes some casual laborers. So we can go up to 14 when we have a high demand. But I have about 8 on the permanent payroll at the moment. Yeah,
I have to commend you. This is amazing. You have like
yeah,
eight
yeah, 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 yeah.
people that
And
feed
to me,
their families because of your business. You have achieved.
exactly,
I don't care where you're coming from. If you
exactly.
look at the African landscape in terms of business, we have these
Mm,
multinational companies that have a lot of
mm,
cash flow that come
mm,
in and they sort of suffocate. And I'm not hating on those businesses, but what I'm
mm,
simply saying
mm.
is your business has been resilient, and I think you should
Yeah.
take the wins. Bigger wins are
Mm,
going to come, but
mhm.
I'm very proud of your business. 8 people go to bed having fed their families, which is
Yeah.
like for me, that's a big feat. Um, so you were talking about challenges. You have mentioned that the ride hasn't been smooth. So I wanted
Mm,
you to please tell us about these challenges that you have faced and how you've overcome them, and like just give us advice as young people because
mm,
like we have our office jobs, but at the same
mm,
time having just an office job doesn't really sustain you
mm.
and your broader family, especially
Yeah.
because sometimes some of us are first generation and we need to help our other family members or
Yeah.
expand
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
create a legacy for our family. That's one
Mm,
aspect of it. And
yeah.
some of us, we have a lot of, for example, I come from rural South Africa originally,
Mm,
like one of the
mm,
poorest regions in the country. And there's so much that one can go back and do to plow back into their
mm,
community. So,
mm,
in that respect, what advice, like, please tell us about your challenges and how you've overcome them. And
mm,
then I'll ask the question about what advice would you give to us as young people
mm.
in Africa?
Okay.
Because I don't think Malawi is that
Yeah.
much different from South Africa.
Not much. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you have asked that question. Business. When we say I am doing business, basically what you are doing is you are solving problems. You are solving
Mm,
challenges. Okay.
yes.
If somebody says that he's doing business and is saying my business doesn't have challenges, then he's not doing business. No,
That
basically, business is to solve challenges on a daily
mm,
basis. The more
definitely, definitely.
the more challenges you solve and the more relevant challenges you solve, the more successful you become as a business person.
Mm, mm,
Okay, that's
yeah,
very true.
I agree with you.
Looking at where we are coming from, um, where we are coming from, that one to me doesn't matter and should not hold anybody back. Where you are coming from, you are out of there already. Now you need to create the space that you want.
Yes, it's all about the brain. Get
If we
out.
had some videos, if we had some videos of where we're coming from, you would be
Mm.
amazed that, man, how did you manage to? But what we
You're
do is
very right.
we thank God today that He was with us when we passed
Mm,
through those challenges. Up to now, He has not even forsaken us as
mm,
people. Okay, let us
yeah.
be resilient. So when I was talking of challenges, a lot of challenges were happening. Sometimes, I'm the most profitable profitable value that I get from the business is to see these 8 people and others that I'm talking about smile and feed their families. That's the most important
Mm,
thing. But sometimes
yes.
I'm telling you, you can be at the month end and you don't have money to pay the people.
Oh,
You don't have
wow.
money to pay this. But I mean, there's no way you can run away. These are 8 families, and we're Africans. Let's be serious. These 8 families, there are maybe 50 people behind them.
True. That is very
You see,
true. That is
so it's
very
not
true.
only 8 individuals that you see in office. It's a group of 50 people who are depending on
Yeah.
you. And when it reaches that far, oh my sister, sometimes you feel like, why did I start this?
Mm,
Because
definitely.
basically what it means is that is the reason why God gave you this business and gave you this work. You have now to use the salary that you got from here and make sure that
Mm,
these people are also having what they need to have on their table.
definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
so
Yeah.
finding adequate liquid cash to pay your worker, that's one of the challenges that we had.
I
I
can
remember
imagine.
in 2019, before COVID, I think I had about seven guys then. I mean, one of the guy wanted to get out, then he had to take some of our equipment, moved away with them. And this
Oh,
guy
wow.
tracked to South Africa. In fact, up to now, he's in South Africa, you know.
With your equipment.
No, no, he sold the equipment and got the money, went out. And we used this, we went all over. I mean, we stayed almost 4 months without production.
Oh my
If
gosh, I'm sorry
if
to
if
hear
if
that.
we were not resilient, we could have stopped right away there. But
Hmm,
I mean, we said,
definitely.
should we stop because of this? No. Our aim is to solve problem. This is a problem that we have found in the business. We need to solve it.
Definitely,
Though it
definitely.
created a gap to us, but now that gap is filled. We are moving forward. At the moment,
Yes.
a lot of people are entering the market, and some of them very rich guys who are coming with big capital, huge capital, okay, investing maybe double or maybe 3, 4 times what you are doing, okay,
Yeah.
and making their products a bit cheaper than yours. Those are the challenges that we meet. But where are we
Hmm.
grounded at? One, we know we have God who is always pushing us forward. Number two,
Yeah.
quality of a product is excellent.
Hmm.
The quality of our product will always tell a story. So one,
Hmm.
they can get wherever they would get, But once they come to us and just buy from us only 20,000 blocks, they will see that these 20,000 blocks are completely of high quality compared to the back blocks that they get from somewhere.
Yes.
Once we do that, our customers, our king, they'll always come back to us. So those are the challenges that we are faced, but we are learning on how can we grow with them and make sure that they should not put us down, but rather give us experience to solve next challenges.
I
Yeah,
I I am sold. I am sold.
sure.
Like you, the way you have handled the challenges and the
Yeah.
constant reminder for resilience.
Mm,
I think that is important. That
mm,
as a people and as a person, when you meet a challenge, you must be willing to
mm.
jump over that hurdle and know that it's
Exactly.
not the end of the world. Things are
No
gonna
way.
work out
No way.
eventually,
Yeah.
and that the quality of your product is key because
Yes.
that's what speaks to your customer. That's what brings your
Yes.
customer back.
Yes. Yeah.
I really appreciate those lessons, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you about I see you say the business started. You went to a friend
Mm,
who was making blogs,
mm,
and the friend was like, you know what, make your own blogs. And that's the
mm.
power of a network. But I would
Yeah.
want to understand from your experience, what would you say are the key important factors in your network or and how to grow your network. What should you look
Oh,
for when you're
excellent.
networking and you're finding a group of
Yeah.
friends or
Yeah. Yeah.
people? What are the key
Yeah.
things and how
Yeah.
to expand it? Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Usually, I tell people that each person you meet in life is very important, and God can
Mm,
never make a mistake for you to meet somebody who is useless. That's what I say to people. So
true,
each
true.
person you meet, very, very important. Okay. Be as honest, show your integrity immediately, and show your openness that you are able to receive advice, instructions from people who are surrounding you. Not that you are just there to give them instructions, but you are
Yeah,
also able to
true.
receive the instructions from
Yes,
them. Ask about them. Everyone has a unique life, very unique, who have
exactly.
traveled unique journeys. And if you listen to them, you'll be very fascinating. So each person you meet, ask them, what journey have they taken? Listen to them. Everyone wants to be listened to. Very, very important. Once you click right there, then that's very, very important. Tell the person you have met what you are and what you are doing. Very important. Very, very important. So once you do that, that person you have met is going to tell his friends that, oh, I met Yorana. Ah, is a very
Yes.
fascinating person. Okay. She's this. Tomorrow you meet in town, she will introduce you to her friends as well. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even when I was starting my business, most of my network were coming from the friends that I meet on everyday basis. They know me, I know them,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them
Yes.
that apart from being an epidemiologist working with UNICEF, I also do business. I share my card.
Mm,
This is what I do. Okay.
yes.
And that friend
Yes.
tells
Yes.
a friend to tell a friend and
Mm-hmm.
telling another friend. The most important
Yes.
thing is keep your integrity, because
Mm-hmm.
the business that you are doing defines you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are
Mm-hmm.
crooked in your business, it will define you as a crooked person, and that will
Exactly,
be the end of the
exactly.
business. So honesty
Mm-hmm.
is very, very important when you are dealing
Yes,
with
yes.
people. Be as honest to the network that you have as possible, because that
Mm-hmm.
will also reflect on your business that you are doing.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. So, my key takeaways
Yeah.
from this is that you must have integrity as a person,
Mm.
and you must know that every person has a story to tell. You must be respectful
Yes.
to other people. And then,
Yeah.
when you respect them and you care about them as people
Mm.
before them being a customer or them
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
a product or something that you want
Yeah.
from them, they are a person. And once you have
Yes.
built those relationships, It's just a matter of telling people that this is what I do, and then they help you expand your market. You don't, I guess
Exactly.
in this case, you don't even have to like market yourself, because you've got all these other people that believe in the product
Yes.
because they
Yes.
believe in you as a person and your integrity
Yeah.
and your honesty.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I
Yeah.
really think those are key lessons.
Yeah. The person to person marketing is very important. When you are marketing on the media, that should come over and above the base that you have read from your network that you have. I'm not saying
Yes,
you should not
yes,
market. No, 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 no. Please advertise, brand, and the all that.
yes.
Do that, but that should be over and above the network that you have, because your physical
I'm
network is very, very important. Yeah.
very important. So, and
Yeah.
then my last question before I ask the important questions. So, what advice would you give to like a young person who wants to start a business but doesn't have capital? Like you said, there are people coming into the market with 5 times, 10 times more
Mm,
capital than you.
mm. Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah.
mass producing and producing their
Mm,
products, providing cheaper prices. So, what would you
mm.
say? I know that the one answer is going to
Yeah.
be resilient, but other than that,
Would another answer on
yes.
yeah. So to young people who have just graduated, what I would say is be active. First of all, be active. Be involved in something else that you can do. Do something. If you feel like nobody is employing you, I tell you, go and volunteer at a local health center today. Start doing that. Okay? By doing that, once you go and volunteer at a health center, you will meet people that you have never met before. Okay? You start
Definitely.
creating your networks right away there. Okay? Once you create those networks, it's very, very important. Those are the people sometimes who can refer you to a job that you can do, to a vacancy that is existing in another organization. Once you start receiving your first salary, my brothers, my sisters, never use all your money that you get as a salary. Don't do that. No matter how small the salary you are getting, keep at least 10 rand every month. After
Lesson
a year,
learned.
yes, a 10 rand. If you get too small money, keep something. At least each and every month end should be depositing that money where you had put the previous month money. It's very, very important. That is how you create the small capital. Others go straight to get the loans from the banks. I would not advise. I would really not advise that at the beginning. At the beginning, when you are learning things, you need to learn with your money. Make a lot of mistakes at the beginning with your money. Okay, make a lot of mistakes with your money. Okay, because once you do that small saving, after 2 years, 3 years, you will not have that small saving. It will be a lot of money. Okay, it will be a lot of
That's
money.
true.
Okay, then you
Yes.
can start very small business. Start a very small business based on your passion that you have. Okay, if you are an artist, you can start painting. Come on, start painting and display them on the street. Okay, let
Yes.
people start buying that. Okay, once that happens and now you know the system of business, now you can say, okay, how do I expand my business? Then you can go to the banks and get the loans. You can and you go to the bank after your relative have told you that they don't have money to give you.
To invest.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the takeaway message is that young people start today while you are still young. Each and every month, look at what can I do? What problem? Look around you. What problems can I solve? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
I would say please start. Integrity very important. I've already said integrity is
Yes.
very important. Whether you are selling oranges, please don't sell rotten oranges. Sell nice
Mm-hmm.
oranges, very nice, to every customer
Definitely.
that comes to buy from you. Once you build that
Mm-hmm.
trust, you'll find that even the supplier of oranges tomorrow may give you 2 crates of oranges and tell you that you will pay me back when you sell them. That's how
Mm,
people break through. Yeah. So
definitely.
basically,
Thank,
that's what I can say to young generation. Start something. Whether you
thank you
are
so
working,
much.
yeah, whether you are working or you're not working. When you are working,
Mm,
do business. Usually nowadays, I don't know in South Africa, but in Malawi, most of the employment is contract based. So you can only just be employed maybe 2 years, 3 years.
mm,
In case they say now we are firing you, and with this COVID, we have seen friends, a lot of them losing their jobs. Why not
mm-hmm.
employ yourself? Yeah. So once you
Definitely,
get
definitely.
started, if they fire you, I mean, you become the manager to your business. In fact, they give you
Yeah,
time to hustle even more and make more money.
definitely.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, that's what I can say to the young ones. Start while you're young. You will not regret.
I like that you said that we must
Yeah.
start while we're young, and it ties in with your favorite quote that you gave me. If I start it, I will finish it. And I think that's
Yes,
one
yes,
thing we
yes,
should
yes.
remember as young
Yes.
people, that
Yes.
whatever we
Yes.
start, we should finish. All
Yes.
right, I
Yes.
think I'm over time now, but I have to ask you this question. What makes you
Hmm.
proud to be African? I really need that answer for people to always remember that they are African and why we should be proud of being African. So, what makes you proud to be African?
Excellent. So basically, what makes me proud being African is, Africa is an amazing continent. Look
Hmm,
at you, Yoranda, and look at me. I'm in Malawi, you're in South Africa, but the way I look at you, you're
exactly.
just like my sister. You see?
Yes.
So what amazes me in Africa that, I mean, we are all one. The boundaries
Yes.
which have been given are just in our head. If you look down there, there's no boundaries in Africa. We're just
Hmm.
one people, and we all need to go with one voice moving forward. Yes, that is
And
what makes
thank
me
you.
proud as an African. By the way, I support Julius Malema. Not political, but I really want people who thinks like that. When he's talking of Africa, not when he's talking his EFEF politics, but when he's talking of Africa, I like the
Hmm.
passion in that man. And as African, let's see each other as brothers, and let's
And
move together
sister,
as Africans. I mean, if I come to South Africa and I don't talk, I walk in the street of Pretoria, no one will know that I'm coming from Malawi. No one, because we're all
true.
we're just all the same. That
Mm,
amazes me in Africa and makes me proud of this continent. In fact, we're the
thank
supplier
you.
of every valuable thing in the world.
Indeed, indeed. Thank
Yes,
you
you.
so
Yeah,
much, Mr.
yeah.
Aaron. I really
Welcome.
appreciate the conversation. It was really nice having you. Thank you for
Yeah.
inspiring young people and being an inspiration to us to
Yeah.
start and finish it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much.
Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube channel. It's Manufacturing Africa. Africa. Africa.